Over here, what's going on in y'all household right now?
Bill the T, we got 3 kids, living the life, man.
Saw everything.
Okay.
My first taste of love.
Yes.
Whoa.
My brothers, what I'm looking for a real tea ambassador, and I'm really looking for a sidekick. Okay, so if I'm walking down the street and you see an old lady with a bike crossing the street, what would we do?
We're gonna go give her a tea.
What if she hits the curb and she falls down? What would we do then?
Give her a tea.
As you know, that tea is very hydrating. My sidekicks, they know this is our green tea citrus flavor.
It is definitely a lot more hydrated.
I mean, you made me think. Will you take a picture?
Of course, I'll take a picture with you.
Oh wait, hold on. Should I put the?
We are in Tampa, Florida, and you got a hoodie on.
I'm the general manager of this restaurant over here.
I just was talking to those guests over there. Look, they still drinking the tea. You know what I'm saying? Tell me the funniest moment that you had in your restaurant right now. Are they standing on tables?
They're standing on tables.
Huh?
Don't tell my boss that, but they're standing on tables back there, James.
It's tea time. Y'all turning up.
Let's do it.
I hope you enjoyed this real tea time with Jameis Winston. We're signing off here. We had some real conversations. We had some real bad karaoke. We also had some real tea time. I'm signing off by eating a W.
Man, we're finally here. 3 years in the making, we finally here.
I didn't even know the major was. Like, man, we ran the city. You know what I mean? We ran.
Oh, 8 games today.
Right.
So,
Proud of that.
Dean and Gary is the best coaches.
By the dean of high school basketball coaches.
The
dean.
I ain't kidding about that, though.
Told the young lady, I said, he definitely married up. You're 27, is that correct?
It hurt because I'm human,
Yeah,
right?
rightfully so.
But I'm gonna give you more to hate.
No, he can't.
Just stay tuned.
You gonna get your first one tonight.
He
Give me
said-
the rock. Right, we gonna stop and get some chicken.
Right.
So we laugh about that. You ride with me, gonna get that chicken.
Did you ever heard that story that the scouts, who the scouts were coming?
Came to see
Came to see him.
and saw Willie Mays.
Who first?
Come on Wednesday to catch me.
Team they went to,
We put long.
we don't beat them 4 out of 5 times, so maybe they'll help them out.
Thompson is overtaking Hoop. There's no question that Thompson is taking over.
They got the best blacks and they got the best whites.
Who scored for y'all?
There he is. What? Hey, it's that time of year, Mike. And boy, look, I've been waiting. I'm like, this like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah. Look at that sweater coach got on.
Coach, man, Coach is supposed to send us a little sweatshirt or something, I like sweater bed, Coach. Oh, look,
Look at it, you got
little
golf.
golf. Hey, a little golf sweater vest
Hey,
type,
man. Hey, look, my wife, we got mail the other day, and we had an envelope, and the envelope was already open with nothing in the envelope. The mail people thought it was a card, with some money in or something.
Yeah.
It was a wedding invitation, and but it wasn't in there because they took it out. So
Wow.
they got me, they got y'all, bro. I sent y'all a box with some sweatshirts like
He
this.
said
Y'all
he
ain't
sent
get
us
them?
some stuff.
No, we ain't getting it, coach.
Hey,
No,
Coach,
man, got y'all too, bro.
I got to. I'm coming up that way. I just stop in and get my
Yeah,
the mic.
Yeah, we're gonna drop by.
Birmingham, man, y'all see this guy, man. I mean, the most anticipated guest of all year.
Yeah.
Folks been like,
Yeah.
man, y'all gonna. I said, yeah, man, we gonna do our best to get that joker on there.
They love coach in the building, man.
Man, look, Coach. I told y'all off air. I said, boy, these jokers, they been trying to compete now. They said you laid down the gauntlet last year. You just went on toes, and now look, y'all know I've been y'all best guest, and we couldn't say nothing. So I wanted to get it on the air. That these jokers, they shooting at you. So hey, glad to have you back, man.
Give it up for coach, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Hey.
Man, what's how y'all been doing up there, man? I see y'all. let me ask you this, Coach. Let me ask you this first. A game like Auburn, okay? What goes into that? Saying I'll go ahead and play these jokers. Is it beneficial? And did you guys get out of there healthy? So it's like a little 3-part.
We did. That's the key. It's is it beneficial? Money. It's a money game, of course, and long as we can get out of healthy, that's the goal. Try to stay competitive as long as you can. You just want to get your guys out of there. You don't lose your guys that can help you win the SWAC in a game against Auburn. So we was able to get out of there pretty healthy. So it was a good deal for us. It was a good deal. We got a nice chunk of change, and we got out there healthy. And the guys got a chance to play against the SEC team in the SEC stadium. Man, it was 88,000 people there. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something. When we came out, it probably was 80,000 people in the stadium. Okay. When the game kicked off, it was 88,000.
Wow.
You know how we do. We come out of our game and the stands be halfway full. They don't get full to the end of the first quarter. Right. Shoot, man, before they kicked that ball off, it was 86,000 people screaming.
Well, now, how was that for you? I know you've been in big games. You've been, you played in big situations. But how, just in that stadium, did you get any little butterflies, or how was it?
No, what's a butterfly?
You don't even know what that is.
Come on, bro.
What is it?
Like, I don't get those things.
Yeah, I don't get those, bro. No, but seriously, it was a great atmosphere, man. It was unbelievable. It was so loud. We got a false start. We got a caught a ball. They went through their hands, and we caught it and ran, got tackled on the 2-yard line. We got down there, man. Center couldn't hear nothing. That crowd got loud, and the people in the end zone got loud, and we had a false start. Mess around, didn't even get a score out of it. Got 3 points out of it, I think.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I love the atmosphere. When you're a baller, you want the crowd. I've played in plenty of sold out arenas and stadiums, but never 88,000. Wow. My uncle played at Clemson when I grew up in high school, so I used to go to Death Valley all the time when they used to have 82,000 there. But it was a great atmosphere. SEC football, Auburn University, man, don't get too much better than that. 88,000, like I said, it's probably I don't know. It's not many stadiums bigger than Auburn. I think it's only like 3 or 4 stadiums that hold over 100,000. Probably another handful that's over 90,000. So you're probably not going to get a chance to play in a bigger crowd than that in that environment. So it was a great opportunity for our guys. I always tell them, how many of y'all say y'all want to play SEC football or y'all want to play Power 5 football? Okay, here's your opportunity.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Here's your opportunity to prove that you can play against these guys and you can play on that level. So they proved that they couldn't.
Hey, well, look here. We're gonna keep chopping that wood.
That's
we're
right.
gonna do that.
Oh yeah.
Coach, last year you made a statement of transfer portal, and you stuck it out. You basically chronicle your time at Winston-Salem and when you went with Coach, but you say, hey, you didn't jump in the portal, you stuck it out, you did this, you did that. How is that transfer portal, as well as, and I'll ask this either on you guys level, on SWAC level, on higher college ball, how's this NIL also affecting the game, the college game?
Oh, tremendously. Because at the end of the day, everybody want money. Yeah. Everybody want to be rich, but nobody don't work for it. Everybody want to win the lottery. Oh, you're not gonna win the lottery, bro. So
everybody want to be rich, but nobody wants to work for it.
Look, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die.
You're right. I used to tell my mom, I said, I want to be here when he come. I want to see him come.
Yeah. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody ain't ready to die. So it is what it is, man. With that NILs, the kid's gonna go where they can get the money, and a lot of times the parents are sending them because it's gonna help them because they're gonna be sending money back home. So
exactly,
I understand that if you're in that situation and that's what you got to do, try to feed your family. I understand that. I'm not mad at the kids for doing that. It's just where we are right now. Now, I tell you this: every kid that left A&M early, or transfer portal, or left for a little bit more money, any kid that was good here, all conference, all American, that left, none of them played. None of them are playing professionally. None of them always say, "Well, I want to go see how good I can do."
Right.
All of them stats drop. Okay, right. So now they drop off. If they was on anybody's radar, now they drop off the radar. Okay, so now you go get your little short short-term cash. Okay, that 6 months from now, you don't have anything to show for that.
Right.
But 6 months from now, you'll be out of football. Okay. Prime example: Carson Vincent, my left tackle.
Okay.
Had an opportunity to leave this summer. Schools approached him and tried to get him to leave, said they're gonna give him some money, this and that. Carson stayed. He's loyal. He's from North Carolina. I know his family, so he stayed. He's a senior. All 32 teams in the NFL has been A&M campus this year. Okay, but Carson stayed. Okay, so he stayed on their radar. He could have left. Let's just say he went to Alabama.
Okay.
They don't want you to come and be a starter. They want quality backups. If you heard the commentators the other day talking about Alabama D-line ain't the same. They getting tired in the fourth quarter now because the D linemen and the O linemen, the people that ain't playing anymore at those big schools are doing what? They transferring.
Yep.
So they don't have the depth that they used to have. So now when they come and get our players, they come to get our players, tell them they're going to let them play, let them compete. They coming to get our players for depth. Okay. So now that when you was on the radar down here, you go up there, you're not on the radar anymore because you're not the same player. You're not getting the reps. You're not getting the balls. You're not getting the carries. You're not getting the playing time, but you're getting a little bit of money in your pocket. But that's short-term money.
Short-term.
But Carson is about to get long-term money because they're projecting him to be a 4th, 5th round draft pick.
Okay.
So he stayed, and now it's going to pay off in the long run.
That's right.
All these other people went for the short-term money, don't have anything to show for it, and now their football career's over with.
Yeah.
Not one.
How big is the kid, Coach? Just asking.
He's not that big. He like 6'7", 315.
You said he said 6'7". I was trying to see that I hear right.
Hey, when he said 6'7", I knew Coach was on Coach. Whatever he does, he was on Coach thing. He was doing the Coach Maynard thing right there.
Coach, let me. I wasn't gonna go down this vein. I wanted to, but once you just said it, you know, coming from a HBCU, I went to Tuskegee. You know, you went Mike as well. You know, we had these conversations with our guys we went to school with. We always had that one radical brother, okay, that want to tell you about, you know, man, if we just stay at our own school. How angry, and if you may not get angry, but to think about when they wouldn't allow us to play out of Alabama, out of Auburn, so the majority of the brothers that was in the league was coming from A&M, Grambling, talking about Stallworth, Peyton from Jackson State. For
Michael Strahan.
Yeah, Texas.
Jerry Rice.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
the list goes on and on.
It does.
How? I mean, do you ever find yourself like, how dare these jokers? You know, they come in here and just think they can just pluck hours out of there like that.
It does bother me, but you know, again, we living in a different day and age. You know, I have to adjust. You know, from when I first started coaching to where I'm coaching now. You know, you just, I use this for example. I tell my guys this all the time. We get on the bus, where they go? Straight to the back. But all our ancestors fought and boycotted and walked everywhere for almost a year for us to be able to sit in the front of the bus.
Wow.
And then we get the chance to sit in the front of the bus.
We go to the back.
We going to the back of the bus.
In the classroom as well. We want to sit in the class.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they got locked up for no reason, for protesting innocently, and they get locked up because they wanted to vote. And they're getting beat down.
Yeah.
Then now they get a chance for us to vote, and we don't want to go out and vote.
And I look at it from
it's
a
like,
business.
Y'all don't understand what y'all ancestors did, paid the price and laid down the rope for us to be able to do all this stuff. Everything you have, white and black bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, we couldn't eat in restaurants.
Water fountain.
Yeah, water fountain. Couldn't drink out of the same water fountain. Now you have all that, they take it for granted. You know, they just take it for granted. So it's where we at. It's where we at, you know.
Sad.
Coach, you had one of the last year, you mentioned two types of people make excuses: losers and deadbeat dads. And you were talking about the whole broken home type situation. You said you came from a broken home, and that even though you can't use that as an excuse to go rob somebody, do this, do that, you know, you got to then turn that around to find a way. And you lay some things out, find a way to put shoes on the kids' feet, find a way to clothe them, roof over their head, find a way to make a play, find a way
to pass the class, find a way to graduate.
Yeah.
Find a way to be the starter, find a way to make a play, find a way to win the game, find a way to be a champ.
Find a way to graduate.
That's right. Find a way to do whatever it is you need to do. Take care of your family, graduate. You just got to find a way. You can't make an excuse. That's what deadbeat dads do. That's what losers do. They make excuses. Winners and fathers find a way. Find a way to take care of your family. Find a way to be successful.
You stated all that, and you were very passionate about it. We had a guest on from up your way, basketball coach up there, and he said it explicitly. He said his whole goal in life was to be the total opposite of his father. Do you find yourself motivated at all? Because I heard you say, you know, they get an excuse of I wasn't able to make it to the game. Or I'm gonna get you these shoes next payday or something. Are you internally motivated from your upbringing?
Well, I was, and also my mother, and she was a big Christian, and said as long as we keep God first, we can do all things. And I've always kept God first. I always had good credit. You know, she told me don't have bad credit. And so I've done all those things. But at the end of the day, you know, you can't use that as an excuse that my father wasn't there. I come from a broken home. You know, I say we use that as motivation. And if I can do it, you can do it. Use to motivate yourself not to be like your father, not to leave your wife, not to leave your kids, and have them depend on somebody else. So, and I always tell my guys, you get to control what other people think about you, what they say about you. You get to control what your daughter say when she see you for the first time. Okay, when your son see you for the first time. If you haven't been there and your daughter see you for the first time and she's 3 years old, she gonna look like this. Who is that?
She don't know you, right?
And she gonna grab her mama by the leg and be like, who is that? And she gonna be like, that's your daddy. And she gonna squeeze her mama because she don't know you. But if she know you, you've been there her whole life. When she see you, she gonna be like, daddy, daddy. And she gonna come and look, real hug. I tell my, you get to control that. You get to control how your daughter reacts when she see you.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So make sure that when your daughter see you, it's like when my daughter see me. She come run on me. Hey, daddy, I love you. How you doing? Okay, because I was there for my daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. You get to control that. Now, if your daughter looking at you crazy because you ain't been there, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do.
My.
Preach, Pastor.
Birmingham. That's Coach Cornell Maynard, Alabama A&M head coach.
That's Pastor Maynard.
Coach, you several times during your interview last year, you said that's one of my concussion moments. You know, you may have used. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. Are there any? Do you know if there are any limitations? Because you know you played a brand of ball. You know, like we around the same. Yeah, we you know we kept playing. You know they said how many fingers you holding up, and you may if you said one, he good. Coach, he can go on back out there.
No,
so,
they say how many fingers I got up like this, and then they had their arm on your back and they pat you 3 times. Boy.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't see nothing.
Right.
But he hit me 3 times, so I say 3.
Right.
You know, nowadays, shoot, they'll stop the play from up top, man. Hey, check out number 32, man. He like he might be hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, I play games second half when I had a concussion. I don't remember the second half to this day. I just know I remember at halftime. I had a concussion. I was talking while Bill Hayes was talking, and he came over and looked at me, and I was talking to Yancey Thigpen, and I just kept talking, and Yancey was looking like, and I'm like, I'm just talking, and Bill was like, hey, Mr. T. That was our trainer name, Mr. T. Hey, Mr. T, come here, check him out. There's something wrong with him. Because he knew I wouldn't be talking while he was talking.
Right.
Yeah, so he knew something was wrong with me.
Right.
Yeah, I had a concussion. I didn't know what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? But I played the second half.
Right.
Yeah.
And we won the football game. I don't remember one play in the second half. That's the only game I don't remember no plays in a half in. But I mean I had a lot of them concussions. Like I have a problem remembering some of my players' names sometimes. I mean seniors. I'd be looking right at them like, what's your name? And they start laughing. but then they know I'm serious because it happens all the time.
Right.
And he'd be like, Carson, coach.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're an NFL prospect. Yeah.
Right. So
You know what I'm saying?
part.
Yeah. So I tell them, I say, man, I had a lot of concussions back in the day. So sometimes I forget. It just happens sometimes.
It happened.
Right.
Yeah, it happens.
I had a plenty too, coach, and I've been hit in the head with a bat, and it still ain't hit my throat.
I know. I think they hit you in the throat. You can't talk lit.
Hey, be quiet, coach. Coach, I'm gonna edit that out the video.
Hey, coach.
Go ahead, coach. Have fun, baby. Have fun. I don't wear my feelings on my sleeve, baby. Have fun, baby.
We got that joker behind you, coming behind you down there in South Alabama, old Montgomery,
Robinson.
Coach E. Rob.
Eddie Robinson.
Yeah, he covered all after
That's
you.
my guy, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Eddie, that's my guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask both of y'all the same question because this is something I want to know. Because I told you last year I said I played a little quarterback, just a little quarterback. Coach, formulation of a game plan. Walk me through the steps of that. Is that I'm sure it started with the coaches and then y'all do install. How does that go into play, especially for a week like this week?
Well, ours is very simple. Number one, we play to our strengths and defense weaknesses. Okay, offensive game plan. We're going to always try to get our guys the ball in space. The guys that can run fast, we're going to run them deep. The guys that can juke somebody, we're going to give them the ball in space. The guys that got great hands, we're going to throw the curl routes and comebacks and slants to, And then we got to watch their tape and see what other people was able to do on them. Is this defensive end always squeezing? We know we can boot him. Is this D tackle strong? We know we can run the ball. We can double team up to the back. Problem with this guy, and just see what they're allowing, what they're giving, what they're being beat on, what they're likely to give up yards at, and so that's where we want to attack. We watch the corners to see who their best corner, who their fastest corner, who their most physical corner, all that stuff, and that goes into our game plan where we want to run the ball and who we want to run toss at, and who we want to throw short passes on, and who we want to throw deep balls on. So it all changes every week. We got to watch their tape. See what we think we can do against them. And then at the end of the day, we got to go back to do what we do best and put our guys in good positions to succeed.
Got you. Last year, you made a statement. You said it's more blessed to give than receive. And you said the giving is over. Now a couple of Bama State folks got in our inbox said, "Hey, you need to keep playing that clip." And then actually, when he come back on about what are you dropped 2 now? What we got going on this year? What's going on with these Bulldogs?
Eddie, that's my guy, man. Eddie Rouse, that's my guy, man. We, he was new coach, so. They funny down there. So I let them get 2.
You threw them a ball.
Yeah. Friendship over with. Hey, friendship over with, bro. Okay. It's time to duke it out.
Hey, Coach Maynard, you gave him opportunity.
Right.
You want to make sure he was able to stay.
Keep his job. But now look.
Now it's time to duke it out.
Yeah, time to duke it out. Giving season over with.
Christmas is over.
Yes, sir.
No, seriously, it's gonna be a great game, man. Eddie do a great job with those guys. They got a great defense. They got a great team. We playing well right now. We both coming off open weeks, so they're gonna be prepared for us. Their OC was at A&T with our DC, Coach Howard. So they was on the same team, so they know each other like the back of each other's hands. So it's gonna be a great chess match. I can't wait to see how it goes. How Howard does against Coach, and how Coach does against Howard. Them knowing each other background, and he know his defense, he know his offense, and what they like to do. So I'm pretty sure he'll have a wrinkle or 2 that Howard ain't seen, and we got to try to throw a blitz in there that he ain't seen. And so it's football, baby. It's football. It's the classic.
Football, baby. It's a classic.
It's gonna be sold out, man. It's gonna be 75 degrees. You got Eddie Robinson on one sideline. You got Maine on the other sideline.
Wow.
Let's go.
What more can you ask for?
Coach, Give me a couple. Get artists a couple of players they need to look for from these Bulldogs on Saturday.
I really don't like to do that, but Xavier Lamford is playing well right now. Donovan Eaglin, of course, starting running back. You got to watch out for DJ Moffitt. He's the third string running back, but he'll be on some kickoff returns, and he's an explosive player. So we're gonna try to get him the ball a little bit more. DJ Welsh, a freshman wide receiver, has been playing outstanding for us. So we look forward to him to continue to play. Jacoby Hewitt came back as number 1 wide receiver coming to HBCU this year. Hasn't been playing that well. He had an injury earlier. Keenan Hambert had a great game last week, over 100 yards. DJ Nelson is playing well on offense. Defensively, probably Cortez Herring, number 10, our middle linebacker, has had a couple great outstanding games. Jamari Ellis, number 7, JT, defensive end, has been playing well. Pate this is only Pate's second game back at free safety. Okay. He was preseason all conference, but he's missed the first 4 games, and this will be his third game back. Actually, third game back. So, those guys you're gonna probably hear their name called.
Okay. Coach, we're gonna get you out of here on this. This was in my inbox as well, and this is from a A&M alum, and they wanted to know respectfully. They said, you made a statement last year. You said they want to win this game. You know, you said they want to beat your school too. Talking about Tuskegee, A&M. I mean, homecoming classic, and they were happy about beating Tuskegee. And the guy said, ask him. He's been there now X amount of years, and this is your 6th or 7th?
7th year.
7th year. Has the ownership taken on now? Because he played on the word they. He said, ask him, is there ownership now where you feel, although you didn't, you're not an A&M alum, but you've been at the helm of this program, is it us, that, hey, we want to win this game more than anything, and homecoming as well? So he wanted me to ask you that question there.
We as in who? We as in the team?
You said these folks up here, they want to win that classic in that game. So he was like,
well, the A&M fans do that. I mean, they love homecoming, which every school do.
Yeah.
And the classic is the biggest classic in the world. So they really want to win those two. They definitely want to win those 2 games. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people always come to me and say, hey, Coach, you got to win the classic. Right. If you don't win no other game, win the classic. You got to win homecoming. I had somebody, I was with the president one day, and the guy said, hey, all you got to do is win the classic. I said, tell him that. I said, you hear that, President? He said, all I got to do is win the classic. Okay? So, it's real with some people, but most people, it's just what we say. Like me, when I first got the job, the first person I went to a high school thing in Mobile, and when I got ready to walk in, I met a guy, A&M guy. He said, "Hey, Coach, we want to win. We want to win." I said, "Yeah, I do too. That's why I'm here."
Right.
And it ain't just about homecoming. It ain't just about a classic. It's about every game. I want to win my next football game. Right. I want to win them all. Right. And I look at all of them the same. Okay. The homecoming is not bigger than me. The classic is not bigger than me. The homecoming and classic is bigger to the fans. Okay. I have to win both games. It's another game for me. I have to prepare the exact same way. I prepare the same way for homecoming and classic as I do for Valley, FAMU, Auburn. I prepare for all of them the same. But the difference is, all the fans want to come back for homecoming every year. All the fans want to go to the classic every year. Right. So of course they want us to win that game because they're going to be at that game. I want to win that game back more than they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I answered this question, but yeah, I want to win every game. I want to win every game.
You did.
Rightfully so.
Coach, how much longer you think you do this, man? What kind of gratification you get out of every day? Getting to do something you love.
I love it, man. I mean, it ain't work. When you're doing what you love to do, it ain't work. But the biggest part, I just had a kid in my office I talked to 30 minutes before this, and he didn't have a good attitude at practice, and I saw that, and so he was in the meeting. So I called him out of the meeting, told him to sit down. I said, "What's going on? What's going on? You didn't look happy at practice. You know, that's not you. You're not having fun, and you know, you need to have fun again. And you know, you can't look at the one negative thing that we do that you don't like, and then get an attitude. Look at all the positive stuff that we pouring into your life. You know, when you had surgery this summer, you couldn't walk, and me and Coach come to your room, and you need another year eligibility, and we fought to get you another year eligibility. Okay, what about that coach? What about that guy?
Exactly.
You just worry about the one thing I did or coach did that you didn't like. Now you get an attitude. You can't do that. You know, I poured too much in. I poured too much in for one thing, for them to turn on me on one thing, you know. So I just had him in here just to talk to him and see what's going on and let him know that I was here for him. I cared about him, you know, and he just happened to be one of our kids that don't have parents, you know. Okay. And so I told him, I want you treat you like you my son. Right. Even though I'm not your daddy, but I see this. What's going on? I need you to get back to yourself, having fun, and let's go have a great rest of this season. And so he was like, Coach, I thank you, man. And he left out of here with a big smile on his face. And that's
sometimes that's all they need to hear, Coach.
I know, but guess what? That's what I love about this job, okay? Wow. Because I care about my players. I got to make them men, fathers, role models.
Yes, sir.
They got to live another 50, 60 years when they leave here, okay? It ain't just about playing football, okay? It's about life, and it's about them understanding how to be a man and how to be responsible, and that people care about you. And when people care about you, you got to show love to them too.
Yeah, reciprocate.
You know?
That's it.
Because if not, it ain't gonna go well. You know. Right. So, yeah, he got some issues, got an attitude. Didn't run in a practice the other day. I didn't do anything to him, but he came in here saying that I treat other people different. I said, oh yeah. I said, did you finish running at practice yesterday? He said, no, sir. I said, what did I do? He said, nothing. I said, who else on his team didn't run that I ain't do nothing to?
Wow.
He said, nobody. I said, but you think I'm mistreating you?
Right.
So, you know, you just got to talk to him, sit down and talk to him.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody they have to come to my office 5 minutes every week and talk to me. They don't do it, but I tell them they have to. I don't know too many other coaches that do that.
Yeah.
Coaches
that was going to be my question too, Coach. Yeah. How often do you check in with your guys? That was going to be my question, but thank you for answering.
I tell them they have to check in with me for five minutes. But I saw that it was something bothering him. So I called him out of his meeting, told him to come off. Not to sit down and tell him what's going on. Talk to him. It's just me and you. And when I see that, because I care about him, that's why I did it. If I didn't care about him, I let him get an attitude and I just don't dress him. We don't take him to the games. But that ain't what it's about. Okay? It's bigger than that. And so that's what I get out of it. And so as long as I can do that and help kids, I'm going to keep doing it.
That's it. Brother, hey, you don't disappoint at all. We appreciate your time.
The Bible says it's better to give than receive.
That's it.
Hey, man, give Kermit some cough syrup, and then he'll receive healing.
Hey, Coach, next year when I talk to you, you're going to like, Mike, you sound great, man.
You're like, hey, Coach, this is Mike.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got tired of you talking about me. Yeah, so I did something out.
Well, Coach, it's funny that you mentioned it because you ain't the only one.
I'm like, Mike who?
Mike
ain't no Mike I know.
Yo, man.
This pre-recorded. This pre-recorded. You got your daddy talking, acting like it was you. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's me. It's new Mike.
Yeah.
Mike
Mike Lyle.
Pretty Ricky. Now they call me Pretty Mike.
Right.
That man ain't no good.
Hey. Well, you guys had that press conference. What day you get down here?
We got a press conference Wednesday, and we got a banquet Friday morning. I think we're not gonna come to Friday morning because it's only an hour and a half drive for us. So I think we're gonna.
So are we going out to dinner or what? We're gonna take you out to dinner?
Yeah, man, y'all need to take Coach out. You know what the Bible say? It's better to give than receive.
Hey, brother.
Hey, man, look, y'all got me late, man. I'm supposed to be at the bowling alley taking my team on team bonding at 4:00. Here it is, 4:04. I ain't even left yet.
Oh, man.
There you go.
See how much I love y'all? See, y'all other people won't do that. See, they go, oh, man, I'm on ground, man. I got to go, man. You got 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes, man. And I got to be out of here. See, that's why they ain't me.
That's why. That's why we rock with you, coach. That's why we rock with you.
Tell Eddie, I said I went overtime just in case.
Good stuff, Coach. Hey, y'all hang in there, man. We will see y'all this weekend.
All right, bro. I'll see y'all.
All right, coach.
Take
Thank
care,
you,
Coach.
man.
Appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you, y'all.
All right. Mike, what you think, baby?
Man, coach, something
What you gonna
else,
do with that joker, man?
Coach, something else, man. Coach, something else. Yeah, coach, something else.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Give him a teaser. Who coming up next?
Man, we got the rival of that joker there.
Coming up next.
We got stay swag, stay black. We got the want to meter man coming in. We got Coach E-Rob, former Jaguars, former Titan, we had one cold winter, one season up there in Buffalo. We got Coach Eddie Robinson coming up next, guys.
Y'all stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Birmingham, man, y'all see him. We just got the young man from Norman, Alabama off the screen. Now we got his compadre. Young man down there near High Street in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes, sir. Yes,
young man, Mike. 11 or wait, coaches, 12 years in the league, 11 or 12?
Yeah, 11 years.
11 years in the league. Stops at Jacksonville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
One cold season up there in Buffalo. Did I miss any team, Coach?
Well, I started off with the Houston Oilers, but it's the Oilers / Titans.
Titans, right. Coach still got that 6-1. Yeah. Coach still got that number. Birmingham and surrounding areas. Yeah, let's welcome Coach Eddie Robinson Jr.
How's it going, man? Appreciate you guys. Always,
yes.
Always good to be here, and appreciate you guys telling the HBCU story. We don't take it for granted, so we've getting a lot of great publicity just from the HBCU level. A lot of great coaches, a lot of great teams in the conference, but we appreciate the guys like you in the media who take out the time to actually tell our story. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Coach, last year, man, you had one of the most important lines in our show's history. And I'm sure you say it a lot, but just for our show, it was very impactful. Stay swag and stay black.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot need to put that on the shirt, don't I?
Man. I think didn't we say that the last time?
Yeah.
That sounds like a slogan need to be on the shirt. Yeah, Coach.
Hey, look here. Send us a couple $, or we might beat you to it now. Watch out. Okay. Watch out.
We'll pay you, though.
Coach, that young man we had on in front of you, all of us went to HBCU, so I start there. Tell me your thoughts, because like you said, stay swag and stay black. Man, we got, at one point the leading rusher, leading receiver in yards. We had the first black Super Bowl winner in Doug Williams. How you feel from time to time, man, when you sit up there and see these brothers out of Alabama, out of Georgia, when back in the day they didn't want our kids to come into their institutions, and so if you were black and playing ball, you had to go to a Bama State, a Tuskegee, A&M. What are your thoughts there, man? Is it you harbor any like ill will back in the back in your heart anywhere on that?
No, not really, because I feel like everybody has that freedom of choice, and it's kind of funny. I was just telling my team today about pastor at church. Our pastor, we went to his church as a team, and he was talking about the gifts that we're giving, and he was talking about using your gifts and being responsible with the gifts that God has given you. Right. And so, and when you have that responsibility of the gifts, sometimes you go through the struggle. And so the HBCU, sometimes it's a struggle, sometimes it's adversity in life, but that's part of what makes you who you are. And so I think all of us have been going to HBCU. Some of it has been great, some of it was not so great, but we appreciated all of those moments. And so I think I try to tell my guys here that you got to appreciate all those moments, and you chose to be here. And I think the biggest thing about me, I chose to come to Alabama State, And so once I got here, it was the best decision I ever made in my life. And I can tell people, if not for Alabama State, then where would I be? So for me, I feel to the point where those kids that are at those PWI schools, and I think the difference is, and understand this, and you guys will get it. I had to explain this to a high school kid. I said, we recruit based on a relationship. Like, I'm having a relationship with a young man. Like, I was just talking to a kid right now about, hey, being on time, going to meetings, doing all those type stuff, because when you get a job, you're going to have to do that. Like, for me, I'm going to make you run a little extra. You take a punishment, but you're going to lose your job if you can't be where you're supposed to be on time. So my recruiting is based on relationship. And I think at the PWIs and the bigger schools, it's a transactional process. It's like, I'm paying you this to do this. So when you don't fulfill your job, or if you do fulfill your job, then I don't have to explain to you why I'm getting rid of you, because I paid you to come. So if I pay you to come, that means I expect you to leave without a complaint. And so if you have a complaint, it's going to like, hey, man, I paid you $200,000. Why are we still here? And so, but for me, it's like with the relationship aspect, it's like you're coming and I understand your struggle, and I'm invested in your struggle as much as you are. So whether it goes good or bad, we're still going to have a relationship afterwards. And that's the part that I don't think you can ever take away from the HBCUs. And we do it from a standpoint of athletics, but also as everyone around campus has that same relationship with a lot of our kids. And I think that's the part I love about attending the HBCU.
Yeah. Birmingham, that's Coach E. Rob. Coach, I hear you. I'm in business. I have a restaurant, food truck, and we can take it down a long road where integration just really harmed us. It harmed our community. We sitting up there dying to go to these folks' restaurants, blah blah blah. And how did it impact the black restaurateur? You see what I'm saying? So it's touch and go with me. I got one in Tuskegee. My little girl, she runs track at Vanderbilt. So it's I'm like, hey, I couldn't afford it, so I had to go and suck the pride up on that.
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. I have three sons. One started off at North Carolina A&T. He graduated from Alabama State, played with me for 2 years. My middle one, he started off at LSU and went here. Now he's at Prairie View. Dad, I love Prairie View. He PV, he's graduating this fall. I'm like, man, you should have went there from the beginning. Then my youngest one, he's at LSU. So I've kind of went on both sides of it. And you let your kids make their decisions, and we know that things are a little different. But when they chose an HBCU, I tell kids I'm a sucker for academics. And my niece came up here to see the dance department. She wants to come to Alabama State, and I'm like, hey. Now you start talking about paying for college, your uncle's a sucker. Now you want to buy a car or something, I may not help you out. You want to pay for college? Hey, I'm right on board with that. Especially if I'm writing that check to Alabama State.
That's it. Coach, man, I didn't ask you this last time. What was your major when you were at Bama State? What did you major in?
Yes, I majored in chemistry. So I was thinking that I wanted to be a doctor, or I wanted to go into biomedical research. We had a very good research department here at the time. But then the football started getting better and better. So I just went hard left.
Okay. Good stuff. Coach, you had another statement that was very impactful. The want to meter. He said you got to want to make that play. He said, talk to us about that, man. How is it coming with your team? And just that 1-2 meter. You guys are 2-1 in the conference. How is that coming for the Hornets this year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have guys that have great attitude, great effort, and at the end of the day, I think we're right there, and you can tell it shows up. Our identity is we're going to be a tough physical football team, great special team. We're going to hit you in the mouth on defense, and our goal is to score enough points to win. And so. But it all starts with special teams, and those are the guys that got to have a super high 1-2 meter. Because special teams, you don't get a whole lot of extra credit, but every game starts with a special teams play.
That's it.
And so we are drilling those guys like, hey, how bad do you want to make that play? Now that doesn't mean you're going to make every play. You'll miss a tackle. Like, they practice too. They're on scholarship. But you can tell the guys that just have that effort. And it's so fun coaching kids that love football. Like, if you love football and you want to, if you show up here as a walk-on, you won't be a walk-on for long. You'll earn some scholarship money based on how bad you want to make a play. And that's big at every level.
Gotcha. Coach, last year we talked a little bit about the portal, and now we got this NIL and how it's affecting college football. Speak to how you guys are dealing with the portal as well as NIL, and just how that whole thing fits in you guys' landscape.
Yeah, well, for us, it's like we're building relationships. Like every time we talk with a kid, we have some kids that I know they're going to be all conference. I have one or two that's going to be all American, and they have another year. So we're recruiting them every day. Based on we're building a relationship.
Keep
to stay, yeah, because just like I'm recruiting them to stay, I know for a fact somebody else is in their Instagram recruiting them to leave. So you gotta be ahead of it. And so and it's just what I tell coaches, hey, you can like it or not like it, but you better adapt to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it is where it is. And so and for us, I mean, we're working with the trying to get more for the NIL aspect of it for those kids that are at that level. We do a cost of attendance, which is not a whole lot less than what some of the other schools. We recruit and compete against more of the group of 4 schools. And so more like the UABs, Troy State, South Alabama, Georgia State. So that's the kids, that's the schools that we're recruiting against. Like last year, we have a kid that's the starting wide receiver at Western Kentucky. He was our leading receiver in the conference. We have one
kid from Ramsey up here. Yeah, Keyshawn.
Correct. Yeah, so we have another kid. He's the starting offensive tackle at Western Kentucky. Another guy's the starting offensive tackle at Georgia Southern. One of them is the starting rover at UAB. So people don't realize that. So that's 4 starters, 2 all conference that you have to replace. And so who had another year of eligibility, all college graduates who had a great experience. But for whatever reason, some of the kids, hey, I want to go bigger. And I tell them bigger is not better. It's just bigger. It's a logo on the helmet. But at the end of the day, you really focus on the relationship that you have with the kids. We have a lot of kids who are just the opposite. They're all conference. Traquan Thomas, and he's still here playing for us. He leads the FCS in sacks, leads in tackles for loss and forced fumbles. And this is the kid that can flat out get it. He has another year. So you got to recruit those kids to stay. And like I said, we're not transactional. So we don't walk in there and say, hey, man, your NIL's at 50. We're going to bump it to 100. Won't you stay? And that's what happens. But what I tell people is every school is losing players. I mean, you're talking about the starting quarterback at Ohio State walks into the coach's office and says, hey, man, you're not paying me enough. I'm about to get in the portal. So it's not just us. It's every school, big school, small school. Yeah. Just not to get off topic, but one of the guys asked me, like, man, how does Army and Navy all of a sudden get so good? Like, why are they both undefeated? But you got to think about the mindset of the student athletes who are at the Army and Navy. They're 100% committed to what they're doing. So sometimes talent will beat culture. I mean, culture will beat talent. And so in those situations, the culture that the Army and Navy has built with those young men who know that we're not focused on NIL, we have a commitment to serve our country after we finish this. The culture that's in that building is probably beating a lot of more talented teams who you have a guy here who's worrying about what I'm getting, and the guy here is getting less than me. So that's the fun part about college football. And I think here in the SWAC, we're still going off of the relationships and the culture that's in the room of people really caring about the university and knowing the history of the schools.
What would you say to because you got a whole half of a state or majority of a state upset with the performance of Alabama in Knoxville yesterday, where they said that NIL is killing the game, and these kids don't look like they hungry anymore. What would you say to that right there from your perspective?
Well, we're not paying the NIL like that, so it's not killing our game. So my guys have a 1-2 meter. So when I go out there in the Mad City Classic and we have that trophy and I showed it to them, like, we have to earn the right to bring that trophy back to Montgomery. And that's not based on how much you're getting paid in the NIL. That's based on you loving the Mad City Classic, you loving the tradition, you loving Alabama State. You know that the school was founded in 1867. You're familiar with the Marion Nine. And so, yeah, but you can't get upset with it. And so if you're a Power 5 coach, you can't get mad because the other school is spending more in NIL and their players are better than your players. It's like you took the money. Like, once you got into it and you took the money, you can't get upset. It's part of what comes with it. So if your running back leaves because somebody's offering him more, then you can't be upset because you took a running back from a FCS school who was all conference in the SoCon or in the SWAC, and you took them and paid them more. So how can you get upset now?
Right. You're right. Hey, what goes around comes around.
Exactly.
Coach, wow. Let me ask you this. We asked Coach Maynard the same thing. You know, the fans want to know, what does it look like when you guys formulate, and not just for this week, but you guys just overall, big picture, formulate a game plan? How does that look? What steps are involved in that?
Man, it starts on Sunday. You know, we get in here, and so what we have is the Hornet Creed, and it starts off, this is the beginning of a new day. You know, God has given us a day to use as we will. And so we know whether we win by 40, lose by 40, next day is the beginning of a new day. So we come in the morning, coaches meet at 11 o'clock. We start going over all the things that we did wrong. We get the corrections, you know, put your pride aside. My thing is, don't take nothing personal on Saturday. Yeah, we'll apologize on Sunday after we win, right? If we don't. And so that's how it works out. And so, but it starts on Sunday, then Monday is an academic day for us. So we don't meet with the kids, it's mainly the coaches, and we're, you know, getting everything ready. We kind of look at it. And then on Tuesday, we start at 6:30 in the morning, and you start putting it in. You want to see how it looks on Tuesday. You want it to look pretty good on Tuesday. It won't look perfect. And you got to find out, hey, this may be my game plan, but can my players physically handle it? And then mentally, can they handle it? If it's too many busts on Tuesday, you may scale it back on Wednesday or add more. But then by Wednesday, you should have a pretty good feel for what we're going into. And then Thursday, it has to be sharp. You know, that's a lot of third down, a lot of red zone, key decision-making parts of it, 2 minute. So it's those specialty situations that can cost you to win or lose football games. And so it's a 3-day process where you really start looking into it. And then on Friday, it's just a matter of putting the icing on the cake. If you don't know about Friday, then you're in trouble. Just being honest. There's not a whole lot of changes you can do the day before the game.
Right. Wow. Coach, back to that whole recruiting piece. Who exactly, like, what's that Alabama State target? Who are you guys going after? Like, you may have it, you know, I've heard some players say, you know, I didn't get a one HBCU offer at all. Do you even find yourself with certain kids say, okay, I'm a send them a letter? Are you know, do you feel like, say, like a LeBron son, you know, I think he may have been the one that said that, you know, no one offered me. What is your take on that? Who are you recruiting?
Well, I think for us, first of all, we start with the state of Alabama. You know, we have 43 kids from within the state out of about 110. So that's almost 50% of the kids are from the state. And we have a lot of kids from Florida because we recruit that panhandle a lot, in the state of Georgia. And we kind of dip into Nashville, Memphis area, and then a couple of kids from Louisiana and some from Mississippi. So that's pretty much our region. Now we'll have a kid or two from California, a kid or two from here, usually a transfer portal kid. But for the most part, we start within the state. And then for me, when I'm personally watching film, if you're a defensive guy and I don't see you knocking the crap out of somebody in the first 5 plays, then I'm probably not really going to get to play 7, 8, 9. So we're looking for guys that are physical. Like in that physicality part of it, you have to see that kid that's physical and mean and nasty on film. Of course, he has to have the intangibles of, you know, good athlete, can move, can run. So you have to fit guys that fit the temperament of your team. So I'm preaching physical, tough, nasty, knock you in the mouth. That's how we practice. So if you come out here and you're, you know, athletic and can move and fast, but you don't want to hit, then you're not going to make it on this football team. And then conversely, on the offensive side, especially at like the running back position, if every time I see you, you got a great offensive line and you go 50 yards untouched, 70 yards untouched. Well, now I'm looking at a track meet. I need a football player. I need somebody who can make somebody miss within a tight space. It could be an 8-yard run. And I'm like, man, based on that 8-yard run, we like that kid. Because he made 2 people miss in space and ran over the third one. And then the offensive line-wise, the same thing. I'm looking for physical. You trying to block a guy off the screen. You trying to, you know, knock him down extra. You know, you right on the verge of getting the penalty, but not. That's the type of guys that we're looking for. So it all goes back to the identity of our team, which is we want to be a physical, tough team. And if I don't see that on tape, then it's like you can't really talk me in. Like some guys show up and they looking mean and they tough. Hey, the tape didn't show that, partner. You look real tough in person, but that film did not show no tough guy.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. It sounds like you're looking for when you're recruiting, you're looking for somebody that kind of fit your style of play.
I was about to say,
You know, I mean, and truth be told, the team take on the identity of the head coach.
They better.
Bottom line, if a head coach nasty, mean, want to hit you in your mouth, the whole team need to be nasty, mean, want to hit you in the mouth. That's how it
Hey,
goes.
Coach, we used to say it like this: "Say, boy, he look like Tarzan getting off the bus, but hit like Jane."
Play like
Exactly. Exactly. And so we know that every game we play, we want to win the physicality battle. But I tell the kids is that, you know, for us, I start preaching that in January about us working out hard, being physical in spring. We're going to hit a lot. We're going to have a lot of contact. First 2 weeks of training camp. So what I tell the kids is a coach can't just come up the week of the game and say, hey, man, we got to be physical to match Alabama State. Nah, partner, you've been preaching fast. You've been preaching athletic. You've been preaching big play. I'm preaching physical. So all of a sudden, you can't just turn on physical the week of the game. That has to start way back in January, February, March with a mindset. You know what I'm saying?
You got to activate that early, Coach.
Early.
You gotta activate that early. Now, I mean, because truth be told, most of the guys that's playing on that level, they athletic, they can run, but do they have the mental capacity to be tough and angry and nasty?
It's football.
It's football.
And I'm gonna tell you one of the toughest positions people don't realize, and I was blessed to play with Warren Moon and Steve McNair, so y'all know where I'm going with this.
Right.
One of the toughest positions is to be a quarterback, because to me, quarterbacks are judged based on your ability to withstand violence, not a hit, but violence. Like, can you go out there and deliver football knowing that a 280-pound guy is gonna knock the crap out of you?
Yeah.
And to me, I couldn't have been a quarterback. I tell people I probably wouldn't have been tough enough. But I've seen Steve McNair and Warren Moon in particular. I mean, they just took some hits, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I felt bad for them. But they would get up again and again and still compete and still play.
Same thing all over.
Yeah. So every game we're trying to figure out, can this quarterback withstand violence and still perform? Not a hit, but violence. You know what I'm saying?
Reckless abandonment.
Exactly.
My guy affect the head, and not literally, hitting the head, but affect the head of the offense, affect the head of the team.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and you got to keep it clean. I mean, we do a great job with being physical, and that's what you have to teach kids. You can be physical without getting the targetings, without getting the personal fouls, without getting that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to have a mindset that we're going to be the tough. Like all of the good teams that I've been on, we were the toughest team. Now we may have met our match. When I was with the Titans, we might have bumped into Steelers and they was just as tough. And so it was one of them games. We might have bumped into the Ravens and they was just as tough. Right. But for the most part, we were usually the more physical team, and that's how we were successful.
Coach, you brought up the Ravens. Let me ask you this: like when you play on a team like the Ravens, now were you on the Titans with Eddie George?
Oh yeah. All those years.
All right, so you playing the Ravens, you got Ray and Eddie going up against each other. I mean, do you talking to him during the week like, man, I need you to run over this joker, and then are you also looking at what he does at linebacker and say, I'm gonna have that type of game where they're gonna be talking about my game just as much as his?
Yeah, I think it's always. I mean, you're always looking at the guy that played the other position. Like if I'm playing and we're playing the Steelers and they got Greg Lloyd and Greg Lloyd makes a play, you're like, hey man, I need to make a play. You know what I'm saying? So and I think that still happens today in the NFL. If you're a quarterback and he throw for 2 touchdowns, you're like, man, because you want to win your individual battle against my offensive guy, but then still you want to be the best linebacker group out there. You don't want to see that other group making sacks and turnovers. You're not, and so. Man, but much respect to both of those guys. I mean, they competed and they brought the best out of each other. But I tell you what's the unsung hero in that whole equation, and that was Lorenzo Neal. So people are always looking at the matchup between Eddie George and Ray Lewis. Look at the matchup between Lorenzo Neal and Ray Lewis, and that's all I'm going to say.
Are you right? You're exactly right, bro. You're exactly
right. Because we were in the AFC Central. We were old school, physical, fullback, tight end, running back. Everybody ran the I-4. It was Eddie George. It was Corey Dillon. It was the bus. I mean, everybody it was Fred Taylor. Everybody had a big physical running back that was going downhill. And so you had to have your big pads on every week. It was a tough division, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Coach, do you is your body still feel some of the results of those battles?
Yeah, I think when you get older, when you wake up and nothing happened the day before, you're like, man, why my back hurting? I didn't even.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. Have you ever seen those memes floating around on social media when you and it states something like when you know you're over 45 or 40, and they give a list of reasons, you know, like you get up in the morning, you're hurting for no reason.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning. I mean, they are the funniest.
Yeah, they true though.
Saying. It is so true. Because I get up in the morning, I'm like, why is my back hurting? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, why am I walking like this? You know? So, man, it's crazy. And I played at Miles, and I was a running back at Miles. But at the end of the day, man, you know, when you're getting pounded, like in high school, from college, you're getting pounded, man, your body pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
You pay
Oh,
for
yeah.
it.
It adds up. I mean, football is a great sport. I mean, we know that the unfortunate part of it is the injury aspect of it. You know, we're down to our fifth quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
he was a wide receiver when the season started. But he's out of minor high school, so he's coming home to the class again. So we lost the first three quarterbacks in the first 2 weeks of the season. So it was just one of those weird things that'll probably never happen again. But I mean, it's the injury part is unfortunate, but it's a tough man's game. And so you're looking for those kids that they got to know the difference between injured and hurt. You know, you can be hurt a little bit, but are you injured? Like if you ain't injured, I need to have you
still go.
and that's where
back to that 1-2 meter.
Right, but I was just telling one of my players in there today, this morning, matter of fact, I had so much respect for Eddie George and Steve McNair, because watching the way that we played offense, those guys took a beating. And I can't tell you how many times I saw Eddie George on the Monday, and I'm like, I said, E, how you feeling, man? I mean, he might have rushed for like 125 on 35 carries. You know what I mean? Just a workload. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, man, how you feel? And I'm thinking to myself, man, there's no way this dude gonna play next week. But then on Tuesday, you come back, Wednesday a little better, Thursday you jog a little bit. And I mean, he was on that, couldn't practice full speed till like Thursday and Friday. But then by Sunday, it was like ready to go again. So, I mean, I have much respect for those guys, just the fact, because in the NFL, we don't really care about, and I say we like the players, we don't really care about what the injury. I'm like, hey, man, can you go? Are you going to be okay for Sunday? And once you tell me yes, then in my mind, I'm expecting you to be out there. Like, don't tell me yes during the week, and then on Sunday morning, you showing up with some shorts on. I'm like, hey, partner. And so that's the one thing that I think is the biggest difference between college and NFL, that the expectation to put yourself in harm's way to go out there and still perform. And this was before concussion protocol. We still had the smelling salt. You hit the smelling salt, you like, the whole team hit it before the game. And I mean, you out there full speed.
Coach, in that whole still going down that NFL vein, when it came down to holdouts, contracts, so on and so forth, how did they say that the players understand and hey, we get your money, blah blah. How did you guys really, how you guys felt about that stuff? The Joker holding out, or were you on his side, or on the, you need him on the field? Talk to that if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, we always wanted a guy to be there because that's a guy that can help you win. But at the same time, we all knew how short the NFL career was. And we also know the business side of it, where if you get hurt, the team's not going to come and say, hey, well, because you played hurt, we're going to award you this money that you probably earned 2 years earlier. So we always understood when a player was trying to hold out to get additional money. And I always looked at it, if you're going to hold out to be the highest paid linebacker on my team, then all that's going to do is to help me get more when my contract goes up. So we looked at it as the positive. As long as the salaries were going up, when it's your turn and you have leverage, hey, you just paid him $3 million a year, so I should at least get 1.9, at least half of that. You know what I'm saying? So we always looked at it as a positive when guys got extra money.
Okay. Couple of quick questions, Coach. How many hours would you say you're logging in during the course of a week in the facility?
That's a good one. I would say up at 4:30, I get here 5:15, and maybe leave 9:30. So you're talking about like a 15, 16-hour day on Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are long days. And so, yeah, you probably, I mean, with a whole week, I mean, you probably at least 70, 80 hours easily. And it's just, but you love it. It doesn't even seem like work, to be honest with you. Because so I tell
sure
people
it takes a toll on the home life as well, though.
Yeah, it does. And so what I did when I was playing, I always had a philosophy. I never want to go home and still have to deal with football. So I'm gonna stay in the office and watch all the film I need to. So when I close the computer down, I'm done with football. I've done everything I needed to. Because I don't want to go home and then you popping up the computer and you work. Now you're working all the way till midnight. And I'm an early morning person. So, but for me, what I tell people, if I'm like I'm a Yankees fan. So once October comes, I'm watching the Yankees game in the playoffs. For me to sit in the office till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and watch film, I enjoy watching film. Like I'm gonna go back and watch the game from last year, the last 3 games. So other people may go home and watch Netflix, and that's enjoyable and relaxing. Me watching film is enjoyable and relaxing. Like I'm taking notes, I'm looking at it, looking at the way the play caller goes, looking at the schematics. It's fun. Like it's so. If you truly love what you're doing, it doesn't seem like a job, and so the hours kind of go by. And so, and then you're giving back to kids. And Coach Eddie Robinson said, you got to love them before you coach them. So you got to truly love them and commit to each and every kid. And so I think the thing that makes me stay late, I'm sitting here and then the kid randomly walks in, hey, coach, man, you got a minute? And he already halfway in the office and sitting down. And I know if a kid comes to my office and sit down, that means he got something that's important to him right then.
Right.
And he came to me. So at that point, I got to put my phone face down. And even if I'm supposed to be watching film for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to talk to him for 45 minutes to an hour about whatever he has going on in life. That's going to make me stay till 11 o'clock at night, but that's part of the job, So, and I think that's the part that fans don't see. They look at the wins and losses. They don't look at the impact that you're making on young men's lives, which is way more important than the wins and losses, although we don't see that. So
I was about to ask you how important to have those conversations. How important it is to you to have these conversations with your players and your kids.
I mean, it's huge because, I mean, I tell people my actual therapist hours, my clinical hours, I'm way over than most therapists get because like I'm dad, uncle, big brother, best friend, all of that. Wow. Because the questions may come from, my sister is pregnant back at home. My mom is real sick. My grandmother is about to pass away. She's on hospice. So it's like if I can't develop the man, then I can't develop the football player. So if I'm trying to tell you to learn this double reverse pass, and I'm committed to that, but I'm not committed to finding out why are you upset today? Like what's going on in your personal life? And if I can't figure that out, then how can I expect you to figure out or commit to the football part that I want? So you gotta meet the kids on that level. And for us, it's really with me and my staff, I think everybody has that same commitment to having a personal relationship with all of the kids. And so it's huge, man. And that's why you get into it. To me, that's why you coach. You want to win. Now, don't get me wrong. That's the winning and winning the championship is huge. But when you can connect with the individual level, man, it's big.
That's when you're shaping young minds, man.
Yep.
And building these kids up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. It's one of the guys, and I'm talking about these 2 kids, and everybody watches, they'll know who I'm talking about. So, and it's a good story. I mean, they were in and out of trouble all 4 years at Alabama State. So I get here, they're seniors, and of course they still in trouble. And the previous coach had did a whole lot to help these 2 young men out. And so had plenty of reason to put them off the team. But, hey, didn't put them off, suspended them, got them back. They played the whole year, got them to graduate, So it was like everybody like, whoo, man, we got these 2 young men to graduate. So one of them, I'm just looking on Instagram, all of a sudden he's a police officer. I'm like, oh my goodness, right? So, exactly. And then they came back from homecoming and you see them and it's like, man, coach, we appreciate everything you did for us. And when you see them stories, because it's like, if I put you out of school and you don't graduate and you don't get to finish playing football, it's like, where would you have been if not for me giving you that second chance? And I think sometimes as adults, I'm sure when you was at Miles College, I was at Alabama State, and if they'd have had a camera or video on everything that we did, I may not be sitting here as the head coach. So we all sit up here as adults in judgment, but we got to realize we were 18, 19, and 20 and doing a lot of dumb stuff. And I won't even talk about the Freaknik videos, but just in general, you know what I'm saying? So we always got to have that sense of, hey, man,
it was a
lot of folks, right?
That was glad to, like, okay, I wasn't on there.
Yeah. But I think as us as adults, we got to realize, hey, the kids aren't going to be perfect. You know, we got to give them that second chance sometimes.
That's right, Coach.
Coach, and just briefly, with the amount of hours you put in, and then from time to time, you may hear the fans, like you mentioned the Yankees. You think about the Giants or somebody like that, where or the Eagles. Just 2 years ago, these jokers in the Super Bowl, but you hear boos ringing out, and you like, man, y'all, you don't see the 4:30 in the morning, my back hurting a little bit, you jokers boo. Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. So my last year was in Buffalo, and I really went up there to be with Greg Williams, and so. Younger team, very selfish team, learning how to win. We weren't very good on defense. Drew Bledsoe scoring a lot of points. And so it was a guy, and Greg, I hated Buffalo, right? I was part of the Music City Miracle with the Titans. I was part of my rookie year with the Oilers when they came back on us 35-3. So I hate Buffalo, but I go up to play my last year, and I didn't know it was my last year, but it ended up being my last year because Greg Williams was the head coach, and he was the defensive coordinator that I had a lot of respect for. So I go up there in Buffalo. It was a guy, most of the time he was drunk. He sat right in the tunnel when we walked out. And every time we probably finished 7-9, 8-8, something like that. We were close to making the playoffs, but didn't. Every time we would lose, boo, you guys are horrible. So after about September, October, probably like the middle of November, I stopped. I said, hey, man. I said, bruh. I said, we doing everything we can to win this football game. I promise you that everybody on this team wants to win just as bad as you. And he just sat back. He said, man, we're just used to Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly, and you guys just aren't playing like that. I said, man, and it hurts us just as much as you hurt you. And he didn't boo us any more that year. And we didn't get a whole lot better, but he understood, these guys are working at this. Like, trust me, we're not just taking the check. Like, I want to win just as bad as you. Right. And when I go home at night, like, soon as we lose, I'm looking at the film trying to figure out what went wrong. Trust me, I'm not just going to bed and going to the club like, that was over with. So, but it one thing I think Giancarlo Stanton said, and he didn't tell me, but they said it on the air, which I thought was really good, is like, if you have a great game and hit 3 home runs and you read social media or look at social media, then you're making a mistake. If you have 4 strikeouts and you cause them to lose the game, if you read social media, you're making a mistake. The bottom line is don't look at the social media. Because what it's going to do, when you're not that good, it's going to tell you you're great. And when you're not that bad, it's going to tell you you're horrible. So it's like the truth is somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how I kind of approach it.
Coach, look, are you echoing that same conversation with your kids? Because that social media is a beast.
Ooh, man.
It's a beast.
Hey, it's tough because I know I'm 54, mature brain, a lot of self-control, self-discipline. And man, first of all, I'm gonna tell you that Instagram logo, the color they made it, I think it just attracts the mind to hit that button. Because I know I'm swiping looking for a car rental, and all of a sudden Instagram, boom, and I hit the button. I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like, I'm 10 minutes on Instagram, I ain't even rented my car yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so I know if it's hard for me, I can imagine. So our long day is Tuesday. Tuesday we start at 6:20. We go to, it's a long practice. We got to get the meetings in. It's a lot you got to do. And so it's our first work day. So I'm telling the kids, like on Monday night, you have got to be in the bed by 10 o'clock. There's no way you can wake up that early, lift weights, do everything we're asking by not going to bed on time, including me. And so you have to be very self-disciplined to shut it down at the correct time. And so, but the social media part, I mean, when they tell you with the lawsuits, I don't even have TikTok. I refuse to download TikTok because whatever algorithm they have, it's too strong for my mind. I don't want to I don't even want to test it. So,
TikTok be ticking and talking, baby.
Yes, sir.
Man, that stuff. But it's one of those things that we didn't have to to deal with when we were kids. The most we did was stayed up all night and play spades. Somebody gonna get mad, you gonna get in an argument, everybody gonna go to bed. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, Coach.
Coach, Keenan Isaac.
Yep.
We had his dad on maybe about a month ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's a high school coach here in Birmingham in Midfield, my alma mater. But he's doing his thing down there, man. He with the Bucks. Talk to us about old Keenan Isaac.
Man, so Keenan, I'm a Saints season ticket holder, right? So Keenan, he would go to the team that the Saints hate the most, right? Other than the Falcons. So we had a bye week last week. A couple of our kids went down there. We know one of the coaches. They were able to get the kids on the field to talk with Keenan and everything, which was a great experience. We got James Burgess, who went to Huffman, and we got Caleb Alford also from that Birmingham area. Two guys that we feel like could play in the NFL. And so so those guys got to go see Keenan, and he didn't play in the game, and of course they killed my Saints that day. And so he just beat me up, talking trash to me. But I mean, great kid. And I think he's the true testament when he got here. When we got here as new coaches, we were like, hey, Keenan, I think I told you the story, man, what's your goal? He's like, man, I want to be our conference. We're like, nah, you got to be an NFL player. You got the talent. And once he put it in his mind, just love what he's doing. And then his dad, they have another young man there that's a great player that his dad was telling us about. So we go over there to the school to recruit those kids and love what he's doing with them. And I know they're having a tough year this year, but, I mean, I think it's, it helps me when I'm getting kids from a coach that I know that has the same work ethic and the same commitment. And so you try to get kids who either come from a winning program or they're around a coach that you know has the same values that you have. So you don't have to start from ground zero. Like, I know if I get a kid, from Coach Isaac, he's going to already have certain qualities that I'm expecting the player to have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, man, I know we running up on this time, man. What Birmingham and the Magic City Classic got to look forward to from these Hornets?
Man, I tell you, when I tell you this is my favorite week of the year, if we could play this game 11 times in a row, I would. It's just a great atmosphere. The city of Birmingham, I was talking to one of my frat brothers up there. He's like, man, they got stuff going on Sunday. I'm like, hold up, it's Sunday all the way to Saturday. So every day you can do something for the Magic City Classic. And so I just love, and I'm so appreciative of the fans, the mayor. Everybody commits to this game, whether you're an Alabama State or A&M alumnus. And so I just think the people is what makes this game the best HBCU Classic. The tailgating starts on Thursday. We go up there for a press conference on Wednesday. There's a trophy that goes back and forth. So we've had the trophy the last 2 years, and we're going to work hard to try to keep it. So I show that to the kids like, hey, man, we gotta earn the right to keep this trophy for one more year. And I know Coach Maynard's going to have those guys ready to play, and they want it back.
He said giving is over, man. He said it's more blessed to give than receive. He said he wanted to give and make sure you had your feet firmly planted down there in Montgomery. He said, but giving is over.
Yeah, man. So you know what? Out of all the coaches, man, Coach Maynard is, and we go. I'm sure you know the history. We go way back to college. Like we played against each other in college, right? So, and in the Celebration Bowl, it was called the Heritage Bowl, which was the precursor to the Celebration Bowl. Yeah. And so the press conferences, I mean, the guy does a great job of just promoting the game, promoting Alabama A&M, and and I'm more of the stoic, kind of quiet type, and he's the exact opposite. So I'm the typical linebacker. He's the typical quarterback. So it really leads for a pretty good press conference. And I have to go first this year, because we're the visiting team. So you always got to be careful with a guy like Coach Maynard when you have to go first, because whatever I say, he's gonna have a counterpunch like da 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 da. So I probably won't even say that much, just to be honest with you.
Well, look here, I'm gonna give you some intel.
Yeah. Well, all right, what do you got? What do you got?
Be prepared to talk about your hip, man.
So, man. Yeah. So what I told him, it's like we sitting down there at the press conference, like before the press conference. So we just talking as friends like this. Right. Hey, man, how you feeling, Eddie? Man, shoot, man, coach, this hip is killing me. I'm going to have a hip replacement after the season. So, and I'm thinking nothing else. We just coaches, right? Personal information. I'm talking about 10 minutes later. Oh yeah, man, because I had to give Coach, you're going to watch him. He gonna limp on the stage. Back when we played, I gave him that fake. Man, that hip ain't never been the same. I'm like, I just told you this. Like I go to you in conference and you use it against me in less than 5 minutes. I'm like, man. But he's Coach, a funny guy, man.
Coach,
yes, sir.
Hey, Coach Robinson. Look,
what's that?
I got to have surgery on my voice. That's the reason why I sound like this, right?
Right.
Because I talk a lot.
Right.
I'm going to have surgery on my voice. So he been on me the whole time.
The whole interview he was on
about my voice.
Man.
I mean, like, come on, Coach.
He said, I told you it's more blessed to give than receive. He said, now give him something for his throat.
Man, I think Coach Maynard, man, he's great for the SWAC, man. And just, you know, back when I played, we had Coach Eddie Robinson. Like half of my jokes that I told as a player, I got from Coach Eddie Robinson. We used to go on the SWAC tour from school to school. Right. Him, Walter Highsmith, W.C. Gordon, the Godfather Marino Chasm, my coach, Coach Houston Markham. Man, these guys, they were colorful and they were entertaining. And you know, like on Saturday, Coach Maynard wants to win just as bad as me. And so, and nothing that I say on Wednesday or Thursday gonna make him coach any harder is gonna make me coach any harder. So at the end of the day, go out there and have fun. Make the people enjoy the atmosphere of the game. We don't have to sit there and mean mug everybody like it's a boxing match.
No.
Like I'm not gonna tackle him and he ain't about to throw no passes. So that's the fun part of it, and that's what people want to have is that hype leading up to a big game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
man,
sir.
Coach, man. Hey, I'm gonna give it back to Jay, man. But we appreciate you and Coach Maynard. We appreciate y'all, man, and thank you for coming on to this show, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate
absolutely.
Yes,
and I'm gonna work on the gear. I'm gonna find my guy that made this shirt. So I got you guys locked in on it, man. You got my number
brother.
too. So
definitely. Hey, Coach, man, appreciate your time, man. Hey, we went well over, but this is gonna be very impactful. Everybody should really want to hear what you had to say. We really, I think, uncover some things that can answer some questions. Like, I mean, these fans, they want it. You know, they want to know everything that they can. They want to know what they can, find out about the program. So, man, look, like I told Coach Maynard, we just praying for a good game. We'll be out there and hey, enjoying the scenery. Put it like that.
Yeah, from a Tuskegee guy and a Miles College guy, I mean, we look forward to the Classic, too.
Yes, sir.
It's our time. We appreciate what you guys bring to the table, man, and it's the biggest Classic of all Classics. I'm from South Florida. Florida A&M and
and look, and Mike, and he is from the back door of the Bayou Classic. So for him to say, it's credence
that's
to
right.
that.
So I guess what you're saying and what Coach is saying is, hey man, we give respect to this Classic.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And I guess you two guys, y'all are in the best of it because y'all are HBCU guys. Y'all can enjoy the Classic, and regardless of who win, y'all still gonna have a good time.
hey, look. Only problem, boy. Look, if y'all look too good, I get worried about Thanksgiving. That's the only problem.
Okay. I got you. Well, you know, the thing this year, man, it's the 100th Turkey Day Classic, so that is a huge deal.
That is.
They did a thing on it, and Coach Reggie Barlow and I, we're the only two coaches to have played in the Classic and to coach in the Classic. Yeah, Reggie Barlow. So, which was pretty.
He was there. He was at.
Yeah, he was coaching at Alabama State.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was pretty humbling to both of us for them to point that out. And they did a little interview on us to like, man, we actually played in the Turkey Day Classic and coached in it. And the fact that we were the only two guys to do it is with 100 years of football. That's pretty amazing. This goes back to the story. The history of the Classic goes back to 1909, right? And so you're talking about Booker T. Washington,
yes, sir.
You know, and they were playing over on Patterson, over our band field, and Alabama State won on the last second safety. So we won 2-0, and Booker T. Washington, the president of Tuskegee Institute, he said, we ain't playing y'all no more. So the history of the Turkey Day Classic is a beautiful history, man. So it's a great game, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Booker T still mad about that now. Don't miss it.
Still mad from what I hear, right? So, man, but it's when we play Tuskegee, man, that's what I love about it. Like our schedule is just, we got some really big games. It's so fun coaching. I really appreciate Dr. Ross, Dr. Cable, giving me a chance to be the 30th head coach of Alabama State. I don't take it for granted. So that's when When people say, "Man, coach, y'all gotta say, trust me, man. Nobody wants to win more than me. I promise you that."
Yeah.
So
yes, sir. Coach, man, we appreciate you, man. You're a treasure. Like
Yes,
I said,
he
that
is.
stay swag, stay black, my brother.
That's just,
Good stuff.
hey, when I get the t-shirts made, I got y'all covered. They on the
all
house.
right now, coach. All right, all right, coach, man. One love,
Hey,
baby.
yes, sir, man.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all have a good one. We'll see
Appreciate
you Saturday.
it.
Yes, sir.
Thank
All right, coach. Thank you.
All right, baby.
All right, we all set, man. And
Yes, sir.
y'all got my number too. So just text
Yeah,
me
I got
info.
you now. Yeah.
Yeah, so because Rod Carter, we was going back and forth with the time for 2-3 days. So just call me and set it up.
Rod, man, Rod and I, we were never roommates, but we were like best of friends down there.
Oh yeah.
So, this joker, man, I know he wanted to respect your privacy. So, I didn't want to ask him for your number, so I just
we're
handled it that
good.
way. Yeah.
Nah, we good. So tell me this before we go. So we always mess with Rod. He said when they was at one of the basketball games and the cheerleaders had the pyramid.
Yeah.
And so they was like, man, we bet you won't run down. So he said he rolled down the bleachers and knocked over the pyramid like
Man,
and they put his ass out the game.
Yeah, look, Carter and I, our freshman year, we go over to Adams Hall, and this is a famed story. Man, we go in there because we like, man, we need to do a panty raid. I saw a panty raid, so we go in there. We go and we just taking panties from all the girls, man. And some girl pulled an alarm. So man, I freaked out. I don't know about them, but I freaked out. I couldn't get in trouble. I'm like, my mom gonna kill me.
Right,
man. I'm running. I didn't know the front door, they're locked. I hit this thing, and it's not real glass, it's plexiglass. But it's still shattered. Man, I'm bleeding everywhere. Now, they used to always tease me that I got a big nose. They was teasing me. I had blood going everywhere. But they finally got me cleaned up. I had just like a little scratch on
That's all it was.
We did some of the craziest stuff, cow tipping, all kind of stuff our freshman year down there, man. Rod kept me in more trouble, Doc.
Hey, I can believe that. Hey, he was always up for an adventure now.
Hey, we were coming up every Thursday and Saturday to Top Flight. We would,
man, you know about High Street then.
You heard me say High Street?
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, hold on, he must know about Top Flight if he talking about High Street.
I remember Top Flight too, though.
We used to have a ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But man, I appreciate y'all, man. Whatever I can do, y'all can let me know.
Definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Okay.
All right, coach, man. Be good, baby.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Mike Steele. What you think, baby?
Boy, I tell you, boy, that was great stuff. That was great stuff.
Man, you know what's funny to me is Coach seemed like he enjoying himself, man.
E-Rob.
Yeah, and we know Cardell enjoyed himself up there, but E-Rob seemed like he is settling in and enjoying, and really, we have all these coaches, we say it's not work for him.
Yeah.
I think he's settling in now where it's not work. It's he's getting the gratification of helping the kids, like he said, his counseling hours and so on and so forth. So man, I'm envious actually.
Yeah.
These
because it makes you think like, man, we should have been into this.
Yeah. But that's two of the guys, man. I told them last year, they are two of the foremost recognizable faces in the state.
Yeah. In the state.
You got jokers that hang on every word that they say.
Absolutely.
It comes down to this week that we're about to enjoy here in Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City.
And they make you look forward to that week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am looking forward to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they make me want to be in the atmosphere. Both of these guys, man, just set the tempo and the tone for the game.
Yeah.
And it makes it, but I guess, Jay, when we talked to a ton of coaches over the last year, man, and all of them they just make you want to be a part of what they're doing.
Right.
Because they give so much of themselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of times these coaches are not getting paid all that money. But what they do.
What he said, 70 to 80 hours? That's
like
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And I just, like you said, somebody to give of themselves, that's the amount of time he's away from his family.
Yeah.
Man, that's
That's commendable. That's dope, man. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Coach Maynard, I'm gonna get you, man, for talking about my voice. Yes, I am, Coach Maynard. Coach Maynard's a trip.
Man, you got to do
Coach
something
Adam Robinson more relaxed than last interview.
Yeah.
And man, look, but these are guys, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be interviewing these guys for time to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Yes, sir.
And they open their doors to us.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And they for good reason.
For good reason. Yeah. Let me take off. I still got Coach face band up, man, while we talking to him to take that down.
Yeah. But Birmingham, man, we hope you guys enjoyed this, man. We may have another surprise for you. We not sure, but if so, you'll know I said it was a surprise. But man,
You stoked.
I'm stoked, bro.
Man, you doing a good job, Jay, man. We bringing these guys out representing.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is a Magic City Classic coming up.
The biggest black classic in the nation.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
You know.
And I've been through, I've been there as a kid, as a grown up. FAMU Classic.
Yeah.
But this classic, I mean, it's just what it is.
Right.
It's the biggest classic.
Right. So, man, we hope y'all enjoyed that coverage of it. You know, bringing the two big dogs or the two generals. Yeah, we're going to go say bringing these guys to you, man. This been a good one, Jay. Yes, sir.
This been a good one.
Yes, sir.
And the people going to like this one.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
All right, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow HSCU Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook. You can also follow us on TikTok.
YouTube channel.
In fact, man, I don't know yet. We may only release this on YouTube. I don't know yet, Jay. That may be the only way that we can release this video. But YouTube, man, y'all, if you haven't gone and like us on YouTube yet, make sure you go there now.
Yeah, it's a good way to replay it. I mean, it's you can actually minimize it and still be scrolling on your phone if you want to hear something. So it's actually very user friendly. I mean, it's the way I go back and watch the show.
Yeah, me too. I prefer that way too. Because you ain't got, because of that alone, you can still do other things while listening.
That's it.
Well, Jay, you got any last words?
Man, no, man. I'm just thankful that we get to do what we do.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. I don't want to say too much, but I might say the wrong thing. So I better leave it.
Don't do it. All right, man. Hey, HSCU Podcast, we out.